Hello everyone and welcome to Sally and Bytes. Today, I am here to teach Chapter 3, Getting Started with Python, for the Class 11 students of Computer Science. In this video, we are going to discuss about Python programming language, installing Python, interacting with Python, Python IDLE, Python shell, command line interaction, Python editor window, working in script mode, exiting Python. So let's dive in and get started. When we encounter the word Python, it reminds us of the frightening reptile. However, the programming language has been coined Python because just as the reptile has a flexible body, the language too is easy, simple, and highly flexible. What is Python? Python is an open source, which means it is a powerful language and it is free for everyone to use and alter as needed. Python is object-oriented, which means objects help breaking down complex real-life problems into such that they can be coded and solved to obtain solutions. Python is a high-level programming language, which means language of writing computer instructions. The way of the syntax or style of the code are in a way that is easily understandable and close to human language. Python is based on the ABC language, a teaching language created to replace the programming language BASIC, which was developed earlier. And the name was inspired by the famous BBC comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus. Python is a general-purpose programming language that can be used effectively to build any kind of program that does not require direct access to the computer hardware. Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991 at the National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science, the Netherlands. It was previously owned by Python Software Foundation, PSF. Python is an interactive, interpreted language with simple syntax. It has become increasingly popular because of its salient features which are listed below. Python is interpreted, interactive, directly executed with precompiled code. This means that it is processed at runtime by the interpreter and we need not compile the program before executing it. Python is an object-oriented programming language with few keywords, that is, reserved words and simple English-like structure and is easy to learn. Python is a free open-source and portable language having a large repository of libraries. Python has built-in high-level data types and dynamic typing. That means, type checking is performed at runtime only. And hence, it takes less time to develop as Python programs are typically 3 to 5 times shorter than equivalent Java programs. Python is being embeddable and extensible. That means, Python can have snippets of other languages inside it to perform certain functions like C, C++, Core Java, etc. Python supports GUI, graphical user interface, and garbage collection, better memory management. Python offers the following advantages. It is platform independent and can run across different platforms like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and other operating systems. Next advantage is readability. Python programs use clear, simple, concise, and English-like instructions that are easy to read and understand even by non-programmers or people with no substantial programming background. Next advantage, Python is an object-oriented programming language, which means it is an interactive, interpreted and object-oriented programming language. Next advantage is higher productivity. Since Python is a simple language with small codes and extensive libraries, it offers higher productivity to programmers than languages like C++ and Java. So you can write less and get more done. Next advantage is less learning time. Because of a simple and shorter code, lesser time is required to understand and learn Python programming. Next advantage is GUI programming. Python supports GUI applications that can be created and ported to many system calls, libraries and Windows systems such as Windows MFC, Microsoft Foundation Class Library, Macintosh and the X Window system of Unix. Next advantage is ample availability of libraries. It provides large standard libraries to solve a task. Next advantage is syntax highlighting. It allows to distinguish between input, output, and error messages by different color codes. Python has few limitations as well. First limitation is speed. Python is slower than C or C++. However, Python is a high-level language unlike C or C++. It is not closer to hardware. Next limitation is mobile development. Python is not a very good language for mobile development. It is seen as a weak language for mobile computing. This is the reason very few mobile applications are built in it. Next limitation is memory consumption. Python is not a good choice for memory-intensive tasks. Due to the flexibility of the data types, Python's memory consumption is also high. Next limitation is database access. Python has limitations with database access. As compared to popular technologies like JDBC, Java Database Connectivity, and ODBC, Open Database Connectivity, Python database access layer is found to be a bit underdeveloped and primitive. It cannot be applied in the enterprises that need smooth interaction of complex legacy data. Next limitation is runtime errors. Python programmers have cited several issues with the design of the language. Because the language is dynamically typed, that means type checking is performed at runtime only. Let's know about the uses of Python. It is being widely used for system programming, GUI programming, internet scripting, web, gaming, text processing, network programming, commercial robots, and in space and scientific applications. Python is used by Google search engine, YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, Dropbox, Instagram, etc. Here, we can see how to download and install Python. Python needs to be installed on our system. Python is available for all major operating systems, Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, etc. Be careful to choose the version for your operating system and hardware. Python can be downloaded and installed for free from this link, https://www.python.org/download/windows. To download Python, we have to follow the steps given below. Step 1. Launch a web browser like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Mozilla Firefox. Step 2. Type http://www.python.org/download at the address bar. The downloaded page for Python appears like this, as shown in the picture. Step 3. Click on the 3.8.3 version of the download link as shown in this figure. Step 4. Click the download link, download Python. Step 5. You will observe that the browser window prompts the download information. Step 6. After a few moments, the Python 3.8.3.exe application file gets downloaded in your download folder. Here, you can see how to install Python. Step 1. After the application file is downloaded, we can install it by opening it. This will open the Python 3.8.3 32-bit setup window as shown in the picture below. Step 2. Click on the checkbox to select Add Python 3.8.3 to path. Step 3. Now, click on Install Now option. Step 4. Python will begin to get installed on your system as shown in this figure. Step 5. When the installation is complete, you will see a screen displayed as seen in this figure. Step 6. Click Close to finish. Step 7. As you will see, the computer interface, IDLE, Python 3.8.3, 32-bit, gets installed, as shown in the figure, and is ready to use now. Step 8. When we first start Python IDLE by clicking on its icon created on the desktop or menu item on the Start menu, Apps by Name, IDLE, Python 3.8.3, 32-bit, option, it always starts up in the shell. You can now write Python code in the newly installed Python shell, editor, or script window. To write or run Python programs interactively, we can either use the command line window or the IDLE. IDLE is a simple integrated development learning environment that comes with Python. The most important feature of IDLE is that it is a program that allows the user to edit, run, browse, and debug a Python program from a single interface. Python shell is an interactive window where we can type in the Python code and see the output in the same window. It is an interface between Python commands and the operating system. The interactive interpreter of Python is termed as Python shell. Python IDLE comprises Python shell, interactive mode, and Python editor, script mode. Now let's discuss about the Python shell. Python shell is an interactive window where we can type in the Python code and see the output in the same window. It is an interface between Python commands and the operating system. So, the interactive interpreter of Python is termed as Python shell. On opening Python shell shows a welcome message displaying its version and a copyright notice. After this, the command prompt, seen as 3 sign, followed by a blinking cursor gets displayed which indicates that IDLE is now ready to take Python commands from the user. Look at the picture of the Python shell, interactive mode, which is part of Python's integrated development environment. The 3 signs are called the prompt or Python command prompt. The Python shell displays the command prompt to indicate that it is waiting for a user command to be entered. When commands are entered directly in IDLE from the keyboard, the interpreter or IDLE is said to be in interactive mode. In interactive mode, type the command, hello, world, in front of the prompt that is in front of the 3 sign. Now, press enter and see what happens. And Python would immediately output, hello, world. Congratulations! This is our first program. As soon as we press the Enter key after typing our first statement, it gets executed immediately and the output is displayed then and there. Alternatively, we can use print function. Print is a function which is used to display the specified content on the screen. The content, called argument, is specified within the parentheses. Print statement without any arguments will simply jump to the next line. For example, look at the picture. We type print, open parentheses, start double quotes, type hello world, then end the double quotes and close the parentheses. Press the Enter key. The output will be displayed immediately in the same window as hello world. Same way, type welcome to Python programming using print function. Press the Enter key. The output will be displayed as welcome to Python programming. In this case, we have given 2 print statements for displaying 2 different messages upon pressing the Enter key. So, we can give commands at the primary prompt and see the immediate results. If you prefer not to download and install Python directly on your computer, there are a few alternative options available. Some popular online integrated development environments, IDEs, for working with Python are online Python IDEs like Replit, Python Anywhere, or Code Anywhere, and Online GDB. Cloud-based Jupyter notebooks, virtual environments like Anaconda or Miniconda, Docker containers, and PyCharm Edu. Here, I am working with Online GDB, a web-based integrated development environment, IDE. You can see the working area, where the program is worked, and the console area, where the output is displayed. Python is a case-sensitive language. This means that Python differentiates between capital and small alphabets. For example, print, P capital, and print, P small, are 2 different things for Python. Whereas print, small p, is a valid command in Python, print, capital P, is just a word and not a command. This can be observed by typing the command print, hello world, in capital P. Python will not be able to interpret it and will show an error, that is name error as shown in this picture. We must remember that while using the print command, the message or the argument to be displayed should be placed within quotation marks, single quotes or double quotes. The argument is there displayed as it is. If the argument is not placed within quotation marks, then the interpreter tries to evaluate the argument and displays the result. This feature is used to perform calculations. If we give an arithmetic expression as an argument, the interpreter shows its value, which is shown in this picture. Using IDLE as a calculator, just like text or string messages we have given so far, we can also perform mathematical calculations using the Python command prompt. Now, look at the input statements in this picture. We have performed mathematical calculations using print statement and the output are displayed on the console area. Print function will convert the argument or message into string before writing to the screen. You can pause the video and check the output of the 5 mathematical calculations, one by one. Let's see the syntax or rules of the print function. Consecutive arguments are separated by commas in print function. When print function is executed, the values of consecutive arguments are separated by a space between them. So we can say space is the default output. We can also specify some other string as the separator using the sep argument of print function. Now look at the syntax. Here, sep describes string inserted between values or default value or a space. End describes string appended after the last value or default value or a new line. File is optional. By default, file attribute is used to print objects on the standard output device, that is sys.stdout, that is screen. The sep argument allows you to specify a string that will be used as the separator between the values being printed. For example, if you pass sep equals hyphen, the values will be separated by hyphens instead of spaces. Now, we can look at the examples. First program. Print 10, 20, 30. Now look at the output in the console area. Here space is the default separator. Second one. Print 10, 20, 30, sep equals asterisk. So the output displays as asterisk, as the separator. Third one. Print 10, 20, 30, sep equals hyphen, asterisk. So, the output displays as hyphen and asterisk, as the separator. Fourth one. Print 10, 20, 30, sep equals comma. So, the output displays as comma, as the separator. Fifth one. Print 10, 20, 30, sep equals new line character, \n. So, the output displays the values in the new line. Sixth one. Print 10, 20, 30, sep equals tab. So, the output displays the values in one tab space, which means moving 4 spaces towards right. When using the sep argument, it must be specified after all the values to be printed. This is because the Python interpreter expects the values to be printed to come first, followed by any keyword arguments such as sep. If you specify sep before the values, it will result in a syntax error because the interpreter doesn't expect a keyword argument at that position. Look at the first example. We have specified the sep argument before the values. Therefore, the interpreter will show a syntax error because it expects the values to be printed first and then the separator. Look at the second example. We have specified the sep argument after all the values to be printed. Therefore, the output is printed correctly. Let's learn about the end parameter. Python's print function comes with a parameter or argument called end. By default, the value of this parameter is \n, that is, the new line character. we can end a print statement with any character or string using this parameter. The print function uses sep to separate the arguments and end after the last argument. For example, type the following statement using end parameter with the print function. Print pen, pencil, ruler, sep equals comma, end equals 3 exclamation marks, new line character backslash and press the enter key. Python shell will execute it and display the output shown in the figure. The values pen, pencil, and ruler are printed. The sep argument specifies that the values should be separated by a comma and a space. The end argument specifies that the output should end with 3 exclamation marks, followed by a new line character, which causes the next print statement to start on a new line. The Python shell window comprises drop-down menus. The menu items are File menu. File menu provides different options such as open a new file, open an existing file, open module, recent files, save, save as, print, close and exit. The edit menu allows us to edit the text we type in the shell by applying various editing options such as undo, redo, cut, copy, select all, paste, find and replace. The shell and debug menus are useful when creating larger programs. The shell menu allows us to restart the shell or search the shell's log to trace the most recent reset. The debug menu provides useful menu items for debugging the Python program in order to trace errors while checking for line-by-line execution of the entered Python statements. The options menu allows the user to configure IDLE according to the suitability and working requirements. For example, changing font style of the Python shell window, highlighting code, color, shortcut keys, etc. The help option provides Python help and documentation. Already we learned that Python IDLE comprises Python shell, interactive mode, and Python editor, script mode. Until now, we worked some Python programs in Python shell, that is the interactive mode. Now, we are going to learn about the Python editor, script mode. Working with Python script mode involves the following steps. Step 1. Creating script or program file. From the File menu, click on the New File option. A new window opens, that is Python script mode or Python editor window, as shown in the first picture. Python script mode is simple and standard text editor where you can type or edit your code. At the time of its opening, this file window is named Untitled by default, as shown in picture. The name can be changed by the user by renaming the file. Our next step is to save this file by clicking on File menu, Save or Save as option, followed by typing a proper name for it instead of the default name Untitled. Now, we can see how saving file with extension .py can be done. Enter the name with which you have to save the file along with the extension .py. Even if we forget to give the extension .py or .pyw while saving the file for the first time, the Python compiler automatically gives the extension along with the file name. While working in the script mode, when we enter the statements to be executed and press Enter key, we won't automatically see the results the way we would see in the interactive mode. To see output from a script mode, we have to run this script or invoke the print function. It must be remembered that even if we enter the print statements in the script mode, the output shall be displayed only in Python shell. Also, all commands are given together in the form of a module or program or script, and all output lines are displayed together, which offers better understanding and clarification of the output obtained and, hence, no more cluttering between command and output takes place. To execute a Python script file, we have to choose the Run Module option from the Run menu or press the function key F5. Look at the second picture. Output of the program is displayed in the Python shell. In order to exit the Python command prompt, press Ctrl+Q, shortcut key, or type quit or exit, built-in function, and press the Enter key. If exit or quit does not work, then alternatively you can type the following commands: import sys:/sys.exit. You can see the difference between script mode and interactive mode in Python. First point. In script mode, you write your Python code in a file with a .py extension and then run it using the command line or an IDE. But, in interactive mode, you can write and run Python code one line at a time. You can type Python code and see the results immediately. Second point. In script mode, the code is executed from top to bottom and the results are displayed in the console. In interactive mode, you can enter interactive mode by starting the Python interpreter from the command line or by using an IDE with a Python console. Third point. In script mode, you can use script mode to write and save complex programs for later use. But in interactive mode, it is useful for testing small pieces of code or for exploring the language. Thanks for watching. Watch the upcoming videos. Chapter 4. Python Programming Fundamentals. Python character set, tokens, concept of an object, variables and data types, mutable and immutable data types, keywords in Python and expressions. You can check the link in the description box below.